Hello and welcome everybody. Good evening. In our weekly reunion of our weekly gathering of this Friday evening, here we discuss about holistic health. We have our very familiar, very near and dear Sundaraj Bhaiya with us. Ji, Sundaraj Bhaiya, namaste.
Namaste, Parikshit ji.
Ji, namaste, namaste. So Bhaiya, what we are going to discuss today? Are we going to continue with the last session, Bhaiya?
Yeah, yes, we will continue this.
We shall start Bhaiya. Time also.
Okay.
Welcome. Over to you, Bhaiya. Namaste.
We will take any questions if we have.
Certainly, certainly. So, dear family member, if you have any questions regarding last week's discussion or last week's discussion, what we are discussing in this Friday session, you can raise hand and interact with Sundaraj Bhaiya. Welcome everybody. Welcome again. Namaste sabhi ko. As we can see, many family members, many regulars have joined already. Ji. And it's mainly student induction program module 2 discussion. So if any students are there, you are most welcome. Yeah, we can see we have Rupali Didi with us. Ji,
Yeah,
Rupali Didi, namaste.
Namaste, Simraj Bhaiya. Yeah, I just want to ask that circadian rhythm we discussed, no? Like with sun's clock, our body clock should get adjusted 50 minutes before sunrise. We should get up and all. So
Yes.
suppose I'm not having that lifestyle right now, or let's say my son doesn't have that lifestyle right now. So I want him to, bring him towards that lifestyle that he gets up early and all. So, what kind of steps can we follow for that? I mean, is there any suggestion for that?
Yeah. So first thing is, knowledge is power. So we need to discuss with our family members, sit and discuss if this is really useful. This step of rising early, getting up early in the morning and sleeping early in the night. Is it useful scientifically? What is the evidence we have? What are the scientific research papers saying about this early rising? So these things, children will be more interested in looking at the research which has been done in various countries, particularly in Western European countries, where they did a lot of research on early rising. So we can just discuss with this whenever the whole family is sitting together, when the mood is good, when people are receptive, when the kids are receptive, we can discuss this thing. This is one thing. Once they get convinced, yes, this is something we need to do, and maybe I am not able to do right now, because if immediately tomorrow morning, if you wake him up at 5 o'clock, he might feel uh, first thing, he might not be willing to get up, and even if you force him to get up, the whole day he might feel dull, or he might say that this is not suitable for my own constitution. So you can discuss how we can implement this thing without causing any discomfort. So maybe we can start it in an incremental way. We sleep 15 minutes early and get up 15 minutes early, or 5 minutes early and 5 minutes early. Slowly we will make it incrementally, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Early we will sleep and early we will get up. That is one thing which will not cause a drastic change suddenly in the entire metabolism, and that will slowly make them get adjusted to the new schedule. Another thing is, we need to keep something which is very, very motivating for them to do immediately after getting up. So even see, when you make your son sit and ask him about his plans, his these things, he will also have certain goals and other things which he wants to achieve, but because of so many constraints, he might not be able to do that. So you can discuss with him. Maybe you can help him do such things which he is postponing from many days. or anything which is very interesting. Or maybe if my kids actually, they like to play with me. So even though they play with their friends, they like to play with me. So whenever I say we'll get up, we'll play on the first floor, we'll go upstairs and we'll play. They are always ready. We use kites, and we use arrows and bows and guns and shooting and all those things we do early in the morning, and they are so happy to do that. So something which is interesting, depending upon the age of your kid, whatever is interesting to him, we can plan. And gradually, slowly, step by step, in baby steps towards getting up early in the morning might help. This is what you can try, and also you can discuss, you can share with us whatever response you have got.
Yeah, thank you, Bhaiya. Actually, two of the things which you've told are very useful for my son, and one of the thing is useful for me, like, increase it by 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and all that. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So elaboratively you have explained. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today, I would like to discuss one important thing which normally we don't discuss in detail. Two topics. So we all know we are what we eat, and we eat what we are. So when we choose good food, when we choose healthy food, food which nourishes each and every cell of the body, food which is natural, food which is having that life energy, that food is definitely helpful in strengthening our body, increasing our energy levels, but it will also alter our mental state and take us to the higher level. We all have a lot of capability, a lot of potential which is unused. So we can tap that potential just by altering our mental state, and we can alter our mental state just by eating healthy. So a lot of research also went into this particular thing. Just by altering our food pattern, altering just by choosing the right food and eating in the right time, we can change our mental state. And when we choose the wrong food, food which is not so healthy, food which is not having that life energy in it, food which is preserved, reheated, lot of spicy and oily, fried food, food which is a stimulant, like a lot of caffeine, a lot of tea, coffee, a lot of smoking, alcohol, a lot of things which numb the brain, like alcohol and some drugs and all those things. All these things have a profound effect, negative effect on our mental state. So it's very important for us to choose the right food so that we will stay in a right state of mind. And the opposite is also true. We eat what we are. If we are in a right mental state, if you are happy, if you are strong, if you are enthusiastic, if you are hopeful of life, if you are full of energy, then naturally you will choose the right food. You will have the strength to choose only the right food. But when you are not happy, you are depressed, you are stressful, you are feeling anger or fear or irritation, anxiety, stress, tension, any kind of disturbed mental state, brain wants to come out of that state by choosing a food which will make you forget about all these problems. So obviously some food which is stimulating, which will make you forget all those things, which will take you to a different state. So such food you will be craving for. And if you are staying in a disturbed mental state for a longer duration, you will be eating more and more unhealthy food. You will choose more and more unhealthy food. And nowadays, it is so easy to get this unhealthy food. If you want to have healthy food, it is a bit difficult. If you want to have unhealthy food, just touch your phone and you'll get instantly the unhealthy food. And this is what is happening. People are craving foods which are, full of artificial flavor enhancers, which will make you crave and eat more and more food. So it's very important for us to stay in a better mental state so that we will choose the right food, and choose the right food so that we will be in a better mental state. So just let us uh, look into Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, three kinds of food items per food is classified into three types: sattvic food, rajasic food, and tamasic food. And they say that the kind of food you eat, we are what we eat. So if you eat sattvic food, you become sattva guna sampanna. If you eat rajasic food, this rajoguna will increase in your mind. If you eat tamasic food, tamoguna will increase in your mind. So what are sattvic foods? Sattvic foods include juicy foods, green vegetables, milk, fresh butter, cereals, all the grains, white, wheat, rice, barley, dry fruits, almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts, all whatever dry fruits are available, sprouted grains, aromatic herbs and spices when they are used along with good foods in a very, very minimal quantity. All these things are coming under sattvic food. And people who have this sattva guna, they are very stable, very they don't have extreme mood swings. They are peaceful, act very active. They do things very fast. It's very difficult for us to disturb their mental state, because they are under control of their own mental state. They are relaxed, at the same time they work wonderfully, work very effectively. So we come across such people around us, right? Similarly, when you eat rajasic food, rajoguna increases in your mind. What is rajasic food? Rajasic foods include fried food, overcooked. Even the sattvic food, if you are frying it overly, overcooked sattvic food becomes rajasic food. Foods that contain a lot of chilies, exciting products like tea, coffee, tobacco, all these come under rajasic food. And what about so what happens if you eat rajasic food? It overstimulates your brain activity. You will always be restless, wanting to do something, some activity, and you might get easily irritated. Any small disturbance will excite you, irritate you, alter your mental state, cause anger or irritation. And most of the time you will be on a high energy level, excited state, which is again which will drain you. All the energy will get drained. So rajasic food is also not good for our daily usage. And then there is tamasic food. Tamoguna is dullness. So what is tamasic food? Tamasic foods are foods which are cooked in advance, kept for too long in fridge, canned food, preserved food, lots and lots of heavy non-vegetarian food, wine, alcohol, all these things which are very difficult to digest, heavy in nature, not freshly prepared, reheated, kept in fridge, refrigerated food. All these food items will bring down the enthusiasm in life. People who eat a lot of tamasic food, they tend to be dull, not so much of any goals and ambitions in life. They just want to be like that. So such kind of emotions, such kind of attitude will increase if you regularly consume tamasic food. So it's very important for us to choose as much as possible 90% sattvic food in our day-to-day food this thing. So sattva is balance, harmony, positivity, peace, clarity, lightness, creativity, openness, and intelligence. So when you eat sattvic food, you get all these qualities, you get this mental state. And doesn't mean that sattvaguna people will just sit and meditate. No, they are very productive. They do more, they achieve more. They can do more things in less time, and at stay without any stress, peacefully. They'll be always in a state of bliss. This rajoguna is like excitement, movement, activity, energy, passion, desire, agitation, anxiety, egotism, all these feelings they get increased when you eat a lot of rajasic food. Then this tamoguna is inertia, inactivity, negativity, apathy, dullness, dark feelings, delusions, depression, ignorance. So all these things is tamas. So when you eat lots and lots of preserved foods, refrigerated, tinned, canned foods, mind tends to become dull. Tamoguna tends to get it gets increased. So it's very important for us to choose maximum sattva guna moista ahara foods which are having lots and lots of sattva guna. And some foods are naturally heavy and difficult to get digested, whereas other food items are naturally light and they get easily digested. So digestive power of some people is very high and other people is so low, making even the lightest food difficult to digest. So cooking and adding of spices converts heavy food into easily digestible food. But if you add more spices, overcook the food, again the same light food becomes heavy. So normally cooking and adding spices is to make heavy food into lighter food. But the kind of spices we are adding, the quantity of spices we are adding, and the kind of cooking we are doing, that is increasing the heaviness of the food. Preparation of certain food items adds extra heaviness and converts even easily digestible food into heavy food. It's very important for us to eat light, easily digestible food. Because nowadays most of the people, their digestive system is very weak. Very few people are there who are having a lot of strong digestive power. So today I just wanted to discuss one important topic, that is compatibility of food. So whatever food we are eating, it should be compatible with our own body constitution. And when you mix 2 or 3 kinds of food items, they should also be compatible with each other. This compatibility is very important, and often we ignore very simple principles which are very useful in choosing the right combinations. Combinations of certain types of foods, they may have opposite properties. They have opposite activities on the tissues. So it's very important for us to understand this particular compatibility. In Ayurveda, we call this topic as Viruddhahara. Viruddhahara is like mixing 2 items which are not compatible with each other. So this compatibility, if we understand, any kind of food you take, it can be very nutritious. It can be easily digestible and even easily excretable. But sometimes food is not compatible with another kind of food and we mix them. Both are good foods when taken separately, but when you mix them, and we mix 2 or more food items, if they are not compatible with each other, they will cause some trouble inside our body. And of course, that particular food should also be compatible with the constitution of the person who is consuming it. So whenever there is no compatibility, this food will disturb the health, and sometimes it can cause some serious diseases also. It's very important for us to look at the compatibility of the kind of foods which we are mixing. So when there are having opposite properties, 2 different foods are having 2 different kind of properties. So they have different kind of activity, they can have different effect on the tissues, and you mix them together, that will cause a problem. They may exert some unwanted effect on body when processed in a particular form. If you cook it in a specific way which is not compatible, and if you mix them in a certain proportion which is not compatible, it can cause some undesirable effect. If you take the food in an incompatible time, normally in different time, like for example, curd is not compatible with our human body in the night time. So if you consume it in the wrong time also, it can cause some problem. And topography is a science. Topography is called is a science which is related to the combination of food. If the kind of food which you are mixing together, they are not compatible with each other. Simple examples I will tell you. I'll also try to go deeper also. So if you look at this, just if you look at this chart, fruits and milk, they are not compatible with each other. Fruits are very good for our health. Milk is also very good. But when you mix fruits and milk, the mixture, the fruit, milkshake or whatever you call it, it is not good for human body. A lot of research went into this combinations. And what happens when you mix fruits and milk? What happens when you mix honey and hot water? Hot water is excellent, very good for our problems like cough, cold, obesity. We all know hot water is very good. Even government recommends drinking hot water whenever you have some infections and all. It's very, very useful. Honey is also very good. Honey strengthens our lungs, reduces respiratory troubles, increases immunity. But when you mix honey and hot water, it becomes incompatible. When you heat honey, then it loses its goodness and becomes unhealthy. When you take honey with food items which are hot in nature, like hot dosa or idli, you put honey on it and take it. Or you take green tea and mix hot green tea, mix honey, and it is not healthy. A lot of research again went into what happens when you heat honey or take it along with hot things, and how it will have a negative effect on the body. So simply, there are some principles which we need to understand. For example, when you mix cooked food and uncooked food, it's simply logical. Even if you don't know a lot of scientific research, you can simply think with your own mind. To cook, to digest cooked food, the effort of body is different. To digest uncooked food, it is a different kind of ball game. So body needs different kinds of digestive juices to digest uncooked food, and different kinds of digestive juices to digest cooked food. When you mix them together, so it will not be able to digest both kinds of foods completely. So some food will stay indigested, and lots of toxins they get produced. So when you eat salads along with cooked food, that is not compatible. So if you want to eat raw food, eat it at least 2 hours before consuming cooked food. Don't consume cooked food and uncooked food together. Similarly, consuming cold food and hot food. Food which is cold in temperature and food which is hot in temperature. If you mix them both and consume it, again, it will cause some problem inside the body. You go to a hotel, you order a cup of coffee or tea, and they will serve you chilled water. You drink the chilled water glass, and then you drink a cup of hot coffee. So both are extreme temperatures, not compatible. Or when you're eating hot biryani along with chilled Coke or thumbs up, cold and hot food, not compatible. So it's very important for us to choose the right combination of foods. So I have a list of items which are not compatible with each other, and we have classified them into, these are all different types of wrong combinations. Desha Viruddha, diet which is contradictory to a given region. This particular food item is not compatible for people living in this particular region. For example, the area is dry area and I eat dry food items. that increases dryness. Already I'm having a lot of dryness in the body because the temperature, the atmosphere is dry in nature, and I eat more and more dry foods. Or the area is completely marshy area, lot of humidity is there, lot of coldness is there, and then I eat a lot of unctuous items, lot of oil, lot of butter, lot of ghee. That is also not compatible with the area in which I am living. Kala viruddha. So some food items are not compatible with a particular time. For example, in winter, if you eat lots and lots of cold foods, dry food items, that is not compatible in a winter season. Or if you take lots and lots of hot and pungent substances in summer, it is not compatible. Similarly, Agni Viruddha. Agni is our digestive strength, our capacity to digest food. So intake of such foods which are not in accordance to our digestive power. Consuming heavy food items when our digestive capacity is very low, or consuming very light food items when our digestive capacity is so high, so strong digestive strength, and you are eating only light food. Both are not good. Matra Viruddha. Consuming diet which is incompatible in terms of quantity required. In Ayurveda, they say that if you mix equal quantity of honey and ghee, that combination is not healthy, not good for our body. Even if you want to mix honey and ghee, one should be more, one should be less, not equal quantity, which needs a lot of research again, why this is not compatible. Satmya Viruddha. So normally we have some affinity towards some food items and we regularly eat it and it becomes satmya. Means we get used to such food items. So suddenly you take different kind of food items. You are accustomed to eat pungent food, hot food, but suddenly you keep eating more and more sweet and cold food items. That is opposite to the things which you got accustomed to. That is called Satmya Viruddha. Then we have Dosha Viruddha. For example, my nature is a hot nature. I am a Pitta Prakriti, fire water type of person. And I eat more and more hot and spicy food, which is again increasing the excess Pitta, which is already there inside my body. So that is Viruddha. That is, I need to have some food items which are cooling in nature, which will bring down the excess heat inside my body. If I don't take such food items, it is Dosha Viruddha. Sanskara Viruddha. Consuming such preparation of food items which become poisonous when prepared in a particular way. So this is, a typical example which we don't find regularly. Like in those times, they used to eat peacock meat. If you cook like if you take castor wood and lit a fire with it and cook peacock meat with it, it is not a right way to cook it. But I will give you another example, which is heating the honey. So it is sanskara viruddha. You should not heat honey. That will, create a lot of trouble inside the honey, which gets transferred to our body, and body will undergo a lot of troubles when you heat honey or add it to hot things. That is sanskara viruddha. Then we have virya viruddha. Eating food items which have potency opposite to each other, and when they are consumed together, it is called virya viruddha. Fish is having a hot and tikshna gunas, and milk is having snigdha mrudu gunas. So when you mix them together, their virya is opposite, the strength is opposite. So it is again a wrong combination. Kosta viruddha. Consumption of those foods which are contradictory to one's nature of digestive tract. So, for example, we have a very mild digestive power, and we are eating a lot of heavy food, and this particular heavy food is also having a lot of purgative action, and you can't digest it, and without digesting it, it will try to come out of the body and it will create a lot of trouble. So your gut get sometimes your some people, they have a gut which is very sensitive, and you give stimulants which will irritate and over irritate the gut, then we find troubles like um, irritable bowel syndrome and all. So according to our own gut strength, we need to choose our right food items, like costa viruddha, if you don't choose it accordingly. Avastha viruddha, intake of food in contrast to one's state of health. So a person is sleepy, and he is eating more and more cold, heavy and slimy food, which will induce more sleep. And already he is a sleepy person, he sleeps 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and he's eating foods which will increase more and more sleep. So that is avastha viruddha. A person is having a lot of fever, and when the fever is high, the digestive strength will become very, very weak, and you give a lot of heavy food to such person with fever, that will again worsen the fever, it will cause more disturbance. So it is avastha viruddha, state of health. Krama viruddha. So there are, this is again a big topic which we will discuss some other day. So we need to consume food items in a krama, in a order. So like first we need to consume sweet, then we need to consume dal, then we need to consume, the pungent and bitter taste. Again, we can end it with sweet taste, like that. That is a krama. And we should also consume, food after your bowels are empty, after your bladder is empty, when you have appetite. So after the previous meal is digested. So all these things are some rules which we follow. But if you don't follow, if your bladder is full, your bowel is full, and you eat food, you don't have hunger, you eat food. So such things, or you don't eat in a right order, all these things are again, they are called krama viruddha. Then we have parihara viruddha, consuming food items which are against prescription. For example, pork is something which is not compatible with hot substances. So just after consuming pork, if you eat a lot of hot substances, it is parihara viruddha. Upachara viruddha, consuming food items which are not as per prescription. So if you drink ghee, if you consume ghee or something which is made out of ghee, and this ghee is, tends to get stuck to the intestines because of its nature, and you then take lots of ice cream or cold substances, which will again make the ghee freeze inside your tummy. So instead of that, if you consume hot things, hot water or hot milk after you consume ghee, that will help in better digestion of the ghee. Otherwise, this becomes upachara viruddha. Then paka viruddha, dyed food item which is not properly cooked, food which is undercooked, overcooked, burned during the process of preparation, that is paka viruddha. It's wrong way of cooking food. Then we have samyoga viruddha, food items not compatible in terms of combinations. Sour substances which are generally acidic, if you combine with milk, that is a samyoga viruddha. Then hridaya viruddha, like food items which are not palatable. You don't feel happy when you consume that particular food. Unpleasant food items, even if they are nutritious, if you look at them, you feel like vomiting. Such items are hridaya viruddha. Then we have sampad viruddha. So like there are food items which are not fully grown. You are harvesting the crop without the maturity of that particular crop. So consuming the immature food items or over matured food items or putrefied food substance, that is sampad viruddha. Then we have vidhi viruddha, eating food in various variants to set norms, rules and regulations. For example, you are surrounded by so many people, and you're exposed to the external atmosphere, and you are eating on open area, or you are just standing and eating food instead of sitting and eating food. So there are some vidhis, general set norms, rules and regulations. You are eating against it, that is called vidhi viruddha. So these are all things which matter most when we choose the right kind of food. So I will just give you a few examples of this viruddhahara. So milk is not compatible with bananas, fish, meat, melons, curd, sour fruits, khichdi, bread that containing yeast, cherries. Melons are not compatible with grains, starch, fried foods, cheese. Starches are not compatible with eggs, tea, milk, bananas, dates. Honey is not compatible with ghee in equal quantity. Honey is not compatible when it is getting heated or mixed with hot items. Radishes are not compatible with milk, bananas, and raisins. Potato, tomato, eggplant, chilies, they are not compatible with yogurt, milk, melons, and cucumber. Yogurt is not compatible with milk, sour fruits, melons, hot drinks, meat, fish, mangoes, starch, and cheese. Eggs are not compatible with milk, meat, yogurt, melons, cheese, fish, bananas. Mangoes are not compatible with yogurt, cheese, cucumber. Corn is not compatible with dates, raisins, and banana. Lemons are not compatible with yogurt, milk, cucumber, tomato. So I have given you some few examples, but there is a lot of research. Even I tend to sometimes take incompatible foods. And when you observe, it's very important for us to observe. When you deeply observe, you will see that this incompatibility is causing a trouble. If you'll be more careful, if you'll be more attentive, body will tell you what happens when you consume incompatible food. It's very important for us to understand this topic, and I will try to share this document of Viruddhahara with you people, so that you can just have a look at it and see if you can choose the right food items for cooking. Then we
Ji
need to,
bhaiya,
yes,
namaste.
Manisha ji, yes.
Namaste. Maybe we'll take up some queries from the participants if possible, bhaiya.
Yeah.
So I'll just request Mangaldeep Di, could you please pass on the mic to, okay, I can also do the same. So maybe some of our participants who've been listening to it with so much of interest, Sundaraj Bhaiya, when I was listening to it and I was just trying to recall how many things do I have in its Viruddha state. And
Yes.
like often, we prepare mixed vegetable raita.
Yeah.
And therein we mix even cucumber, tomatoes, potato, everything in the curd.
Yes.
So I thought that this was something that was so wrong we were eating throughout.
Yes.
So, like a very interesting topic, maybe some of our participants would like to get their queries resolved as well. So, dear all, I think I have just handed over the mic to as many as possible, so that you can just unmute and Ji Rupalindi, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
It has become a habit of saying good morning for the morning sessions. Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, these milkshakes, like banana shakes, mango shake, we drink. So that means that is also wrong. Then fruit and milk,
yes,
mixing together.
Yes. Mixing any kind of fruit with milk is not good. So,
then from
sorry.
And from childhood in Assam, we used to hear ki khatta and bitter and sour should not be mixed. But then in North Indian cuisine, khatte karela, I saw some recipe. So do they go together? Can they go together? Sour and bitter.
Karela, what will you mix with Karela?
The dry mango powder.
Oh,
Some khatta karela. We never prepare like that, but then I have seen some kind of recipe. Sanjeev Kapoor's show also. Khatte
Didi.
karela, maybe.
Didi,
So,
you're right, because
do they go together?
Didi,
actually,
quite
that
right.
will.
Said, Bhaiya. Like when we prepare it in North, we mix a lot of dry mango powder also in it. So this is what Didi wanted to ask.
Yes, that will help in reducing the bitterness of the particular Karela. But as far as I know, that is not the right way to cook the food, and we need to experience that bitterness. Bitterness is also good. It should touch the tongue, and it will create a lot of change inside our metabolism. So bitterness should also be experienced. So this mixing these sour things to bitter things is more like to mask the bitterness, which is not good actually. Even our people also, they in Andhra, they make this menthi onkai kura. They add methi powder and to the bangan ka bartan, and add a lot of imli to reduce the bitterness of the methi, and it becomes very tasty. But it's not a good combination.
Okay, and I also heard like nowadays so many YouTube videos and all. So some preparation of Karela. In general, I always feel that every vegetable, like their original nutrients, that should go to us. And I insist that after chopping the vegetables, I don't keep them dipped in water for like I wash it beforehand, and not after chopping, because I feel that the nutrients will go away. But then I heard some recipes that Karela, that they squeeze out the totally squeeze out the, maybe to reduce the bitterness. But as you have just mentioned, I thought that even that bitterness that is required.
It's
not
very,
only for taste,
very
even
important.
inside.
Yeah. So lots and lots
but then
of
that is thrown away, that is squeezed out. They give the recipes like that. So many wrong things every day we are doing.
Yes, true, very true. Just to make it palatable, just to make it good to taste, we are losing a lot of nutrients, and these are medicinal properties which are present in Karela. So lots and lots of infections, lots and lots of worms, parasites, they die if you regularly consume Karela. So, but you lose that property if you try to reduce that bitterness by adding or squeezing out something which is giving that bitterness.
And Bhaiya, before that, this regarding sleep, I wanted to ask something. Like our children, they have got such a wrong pattern. Whereas I am an early riser from childhood, that 4 o'clock, it has remained like that. In Assam, 4 o'clock, it's daylight. But in other parts, I have stayed, like in Delhi and now in Orissa, it's not at all daylight, but still my body clock has remained the same. 4 o'clock, I get up. But I could not give the habit to my children. They are young adults now. Yes. So nowadays in the internet, so many articles are floating that it says that some people are like from birth, they are like that. They're owls and larks. They call it like that. The early risers are called larks, and the late risers, they are like night people, and it is scientifically proven, this they want to claim. So our children also read those things, and they want to justify their status that everybody is not like you, everybody is not like that. Whereas I want to tell them that with nature, like we have to get up and sleep. Of course, in modern times, because of the light bulb, electricity, and internet, we have like elongated the days, like daylight, artificial daylight we have created. But still we have been following that. But then today's children, youngsters, at night time only their life starts, and half of the day they are asleep. So
yes. So actually,
how like is it scientific that the calling that these articles talk about it?
Definitely,
at
definitely
night.
not scientific. Definitely not scientific.
Yeah,
And
earlier, how could then so many generations, how they were not like when there was no electricity and this thing, internet. If it is so very scientific that some people are from birth they are like that, then did they keep awake the whole night? Everybody used to sleep
yes, yes,
earlier.
yes. Yeah, that's
So
true.
now,
See, see, when there was not no electricity, people used to put off the lamps early. So this natural
hmm,
phenomenon of secretion of this hormone called melatonin, it used to get
hmm,
produced in a right way in the right time, normally between before 9 o'clock in the night. And the peak production of this melatonin will happen between 10 to 12 and 12 to 2 in the night. And that production of this hormone induces sleep. And and this happens for everyone. It's not like only for people who get up in the morning, it happens. No, for night owls also it happens.
hmm,
And
hmm,
this melatonin production is very important for us to do so get so many good things happen inside our body, like regeneration of each and every cell of the body, repair of old cells, rejuvenation, energy production. All these things will happen and sufficient amount of melatonin gets produced inside our body. Now if you expose your body to artificial light, research has proven that
hmm,
this artificial light will reduce the production of melatonin by more than half. So when this
hmm,
less production of melatonin happens, then it's not like definitely you will not get sleep because melatonin production is reduced, but so many other
hmm,
bad things will happen inside the body. This regeneration process will not happen, the cell repair will be disturbed. So many other things like mood swings will happen, mind gets disturbed, mental depression and other many, there are so many things which will happen. And doctors are prescribing melatonin as a medicine,
hmm,
the
hmm,
hormone which gets produced free of cost in our own body. If you just switch off the light and sleep, that same thing
hmm,
you are being prescribed by doctors, it is very costly also. So why should we
hmm,
take that prescription? And this melatonin prescription has been recommended by World Health Organization. So it's
hmm,
nothing like night owls or anything. If you consider like that, then
hmm,
every kid is night owl right now. No, very few percentage of kids only will sleep early if you even if you don't
I,
ask them to sleep, right? So
nowadays we
it's not
don't
the
see
case.
any young
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
we need to again discuss with kids. And this is very convenient, nowadays the research is like this. So they will say coffee is good, it will reduce the incidence of cancer. If you regularly eat chocolate, it is good. Regularly, if you take little amount of alcohol, it is good. This is
For heart, they say. Yeah.
all this is sponsored research.
Hmm.
If you give enough
Hmm.
money, they will also prove that eating gutka will reduce cancer. So this is called research
Yeah.
mafia. There is a research mafia which
Hmm.
will try to prove anything if you pay money. So
Hmm.
this is not the case actually. So every kid can sleep early and get up early with enough motivation and enough strength, and of course support from the family. So it's very important for us to discuss and ask them to experiment step by step. And nowadays, it's forget about, even if a person is a night owl, maybe he will sleep by 11 o'clock, 11:30 and get up by 6 or 7. Nowadays it's not the case. The whole night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, they are awake.
Whole
And
night, whole night.
yeah.
I sometimes like when my daughters are here, I like sometimes when they are in a good mood, I tell them that come along with me for the morning walk. So just to please me once or two, once in a blue moon, she will come with me. But how? That she would not like maybe she would have gone off to sleep by 4:30, 4.
Yes.
That day she would not go off to sleep. She will wait for me when she'll go with me, and after coming back says
Still sleep.
that's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is just she makes her night a little longer, that
Yes.
and then she meets me in the morning. She keeps awake, I get up, and then it's like that. But in the family, it's very difficult to inculcate, like,
Yes.
they don't listen to their own. Like, by example, I could not teach them. Like, I'm the only one who gets up early. So I don't live in the same time zone with like the three members in my family. They are
Yeah.
all like, they keep awake at night, and then and my schedule is totally different. So that
Maybe
way, yeah.
you should cut a deal with your daughter, like weekly, at least 3-4 days. If you can get up first, you have to sleep early, and then if you can get up early, we can go somewhere, we can do something like this or something very interesting thing, whatever gives her. Just think if she's having a picnic or something like which is very exciting, some trip or something like that, if she will get up early in the morning without any difficulty, right? So
They have their own choices now. Like one is 20, one is 24.
yes.
So very
So
difficult.
maybe we should, ask them what is very passionate for them, and keep such things early in the morning. Maybe they will try to experience. They have to experience, not just 1 day or 2 days, at least 1 month. Maybe you can take them to some kind of retreat where the whole curriculum is very strict, either Vipassana or something like that, where they'll force you to sleep and force you to get up early in the morning. That will change the entire biological clock. You have to try different things until you
Yeah, but
succeed.
then the internet is the king at this moment.
Yeah.
Internet keeps them awake.
Yeah, one of my patients, she says that whole night I will watch this series, binge watch.
Yeah,
different
they
series.
do that. Yes.
So I told her, why don't you watch in the morning or daytime? Or she says, no, when I watch it in the night time, it gives me more kick. And everything is
and their
calm.
world, their peer groups, they are awake the whole night. Like they don't meet otherwise.
Yes.
Like I asked that to my student also,
Yeah.
and she says that Miss, like only at night all of them are online, because the up to 9 or 10 o'clock they have their own thing, like the course or class or whatever.
We have many more course to so let's have some other sharing as well.
Yes. Sure.
Certainly. Thank you.
जी भैया. So Bhupati भैया.
Namaskar. I'm
जी
Bhupati
दीदी
from
नमस्ते.
Coimbatore.
जी.
Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. I'm working in Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham.
जी.
Namaste ji. One thing I want to add to this is, instead of going always behind pills, that is the tablets, syrups, why can't we go in the naturopathy, like that of tulsi leaves for cold, that too the tutti
Home
leaves
remedies.
for
Home remedies.
pipes, like that. That's good, because my son from the childhood, he had some wheezing problem. Then when I went to doctor, they told you have to give Astalin. Then I gave for some 2-3 years, but it seems repeatedly I have to give whenever he get cold and all. Repeatedly I have to give. That situation came. Then he switched to the Kuppameni in Tamil. Usually they will call it.
Okay.
So that one, it worked good. I prepared a soup instead of normal junk foods for the snacks. I will give this as a snack for him. This one, then moringa soup, like that. So weekly twice, thrice I gave. Then totally till now, he is now 11 years. From 6 years to 11 years, I didn't go to hospital for the cold, like that, wheezing problem. Totally it stopped. So whenever he will tell that, if he wants to take ice cream, he will tell that tomorrow I will drink the soup, ma. Then I will have the ice cream. 3-4 ice creams continuously, even at night time also he will take. The problem didn't come. So why can't we go behind the pills, all these things and all? It is of harm to the kids, no.
You are absolutely.
Sundar, I'd like to share an incident just for Bhupati and for all the co-explorers here. The purpose of this session is not health consultancy, rather is how to live a holistic health life.
Okay.
So rather than going on the prescription if we learn and try to explore how to live a healthy life and how not to fall ill. It will
So
be more helpful for all of us.
also this is also
Yeah.
healthy. Like we
So
can
certainly,
Yes.
certainly.
Yes.
So if we keep that in mind and look ourselves as a coexistence of self and body, then it will be more helpful. For
and
all
so
other,
this also keeping ourselves on
Yeah.
body, no? See, if we
certainly
take
only
instead
looking
of
after the
going
body and asking
this
about the cure and pills and then it won't help
Yes.
much, I believe.
Parishit
Raj
Bhaiya,
Bhaiya would
yeah.
like to add? Ji.
Bhupati Sharmakam ji, what you told is absolutely right. And the entire course which we are speaking about is holistic human health. This
Okay.
entire syllabus which we have prepared, it speaks about the same thing. How we can stay healthy without going to a doctor, without
Yes,
using
that's what
anything.
this is what I am telling. Even many herbs are there. Many herbs are there which will cure us, which is used in our ancient period. This
And we
which
have
if we get practice in that, it will definitely cure. Indian that recipes are more good. If instead of going for pizza, all these things, if we go for these kind of, at least as a mother, I should practice to my kid.
yes.
So I should,
So
as a
luckily,
teacher, I should give to my student in the class at least a small thing. If I tell to my student about some incident like that, interesting incident, if I add to them, they will. So definitely, when they follow, it will be good to the younger generation like that. That's what my opinion.
luckily we have this home remedies as a part of the syllabus of holistic human health. So
Okay.
in the book also, these home remedies which were being practiced in our ancient times, or grandmothers or grandfathers, they used to teach us how to solve small troubles with simple things available in our kitchen.
So
and in our
definitely, it
workplace.
was.
So
It,
that
it,
is
it was really it worked. In my experience, really it worked good. For
great.
the rheumatic arthritis, that is Modakata Gira, that I don't know in English, that we usually tell them that really that worked.
Yes.
So the pain and all reducing, many things. If you are deficient of calcium, immediately parandai, they will tell in Tamil. That so if we eat that, they within 2 days we can see the changes, pain, leg pains and all, everything is going. Instead of taking calcium tablet, this is more good.
Yes. So great, and we will have a special session on this
Thank you.
particular
Thank
home
you. I'm
remedies.
very interested in that. So I'm a chemistry teacher, and also I'm working in the project, everything. I'm working in the nature only, taking the flower dye and detecting the metal present in the soil and water, and using non-cotton fibers and impregnating all these, whatever the medicines I told, that extracts the flavonoids I'm extracting, then impregnating those fibers with it, and I'm using for the that application of wound healing, all these things.
Oh, great!
That
Wonderful.
we are doing that projects.
Wonderful. You
We are
should
doing.
share your project with us once.
That's a definitely
Great
sure.
research you are doing.
That
Yeah.
is we are. I'm mainly concentrating on the nature. I'm not going. I'm from a village, so mainly I'm concentrating on the nature, and also to increase the yield of the farmers with my EEE student, computer science student, and my MSc chemistry students. We are preparing a sensor to find out how the nutrient content, where there is a deficient, all these things we are doing. Computer science students, all these things we are doing. That's what I'm going with the nature. So nature teaches us a lot than any other thing.
Great. So entire trouble happened when man moved away from nature. When
So definitely it
man
is of
started fighting with nature, tried to conquer nature.
all these
That is-
physical exercises. Even in our home, we used to use that the ancient time type of grinders, all these things only, not of normal the electricity is in grinder, that and all we are not using.
Wonderful.
So during the corona period, we were used to that period, so that only.
Ji.
Wonderful.
Nice,
Very
nice.
physical exercise. Thank
Ji,
you. I'm
Lalita
not.
Didi.
I didn't.
Thank you, Bhupati.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Lalita Didi, would you like to put forward any of your reflections?
Hello, Didi.
Namaste.
Hello.
Ji.
Hello, Bhaiya. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. I'm having two different questions to ask Bhaiya.
Okay.
But one thing is, after fever, if you will get some mouth ulcer, it is very difficult to even talk also.
Yes.
Any biological medicine like homeopathic or whatever Ayurveda you are doing, no? Any kind
Yes.
of medicine is there for that?
See, generally for stomatitis, it is called stomatitis. Okay.
Okay.
So if you can apply paste of dhania powder and dalchini powder mixed with honey. If you apply it on the mouth ulcers, it will get healed very fast. Okay. So that is a simple home remedy. Of course, we do have so many Ayurveda medicines which will help in reducing, but the mouth ulcers, we need to understand that they are happening because there is excess heat inside the body, excess inflammation inside the body. And sometimes if you have some excess acid production inside the body, acidity, some kind of gastritis inside the body, that reflects as mouth ulcers inside our oral cavity. So we need to take care of that particular part also, which will automatically reduce the mouth ulcers. So if someone is suffering
if we
with
take
more is good actually.
More of
but
allopathic medicine also, it will they'll farm, I think, no?
Yeah, allopathic medicines, if even Ayurvedic medicines also, if they are having excess heat.
But it will be there in the prescription, no? The doctor prescription, it will be there. So definitely we need to take healing by the fever or something else. So that's why if we will take immediately, side effect it will show. So
yeah, that's why, like the earlier speaker was pointing out. So we have so many home remedies for simple problems. We can easily bring them down with things which are available in our kitchen, in and around our house. And if the problem persists, then we can go to the doctor and ask for some medicine. But it is important for us to not use a lot of antibiotics, not use a lot of painkillers.
Okay,
whatever might
thank
be the
you.
problem.
And one more question I'm having, like while preparation of palav or khichdi something, there's some people they will add. Okay. One more thing, Bhaiya, one more thing I wanted to ask. While preparation of palav, usually in our Karnataka and all, palav, vegetable palav, like that we will prepare. But some people they'll add curd to directly to the content while heating itself. It is good? It is not good, no?
Definitely not good. Definitely not good.
Okay.
Heating curd is definitely not good.
Yes.
This is what we had talked a little while ago, isn't it, Sundar Bhaiya?
Yes.
You were giving that what is viruddha.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Nice. Thank you, Lalita Ji.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Bhaiya, it was another interesting session with an in-depth information about so many combinations of food with respect to the holistic health perspective.
Yes.
So I think there'll be another interesting session on coming Friday, where it'll take us maybe deeper into the combination of various food that we eat in our day-to-day life, and yet unknowingly they are viruddha. Nice.
We'll try to share the document also on Viruddha.
Very nice, Bhaiya. Ji. So as we could see that Shivadasan Bhaiya was also mentioning that very spicy discussion on food and food habits.
Yes.
So I think it's time to say thank you to you, and thank you to all the participants, all our fellow co-explorers who've been interested in listening to the session and put up interesting queries to add more spice to the discussion. As Bhaiya's mentioned spice, so even I thought I'll take an opportunity to use the word spice. Yet, Sundar Bhaiya, thank you so much. And we'll be looking forward for another session on Friday, with more insight into some more topic.
Sure.
Ji, thank you so much. So
Thank you.
Shubharatri, good night.
Thank you, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste everyone.